Hi guys, and welcome to Alistair Davies Golf. Today's video is titled, There's No Such Thing as a One-Way Miss. So some of you might be rolling your eyes now thinking, what am I talking about? Surely there is, the best players in the world do this. But I can assure you they don't. Looking at the data and players' records, we never see any player that consistently has a one-way miss. We all strive to have the one-way miss. And for the guys who don't understand what we're saying by one-way miss, what we mean essentially is taking one side of the golf course out of play by only hitting it left with a bad shot, or only hitting it down the left-hand side of the course, ideally. Now, the control of the ball to be able to do that, it makes it nigh on impossible. We can set ourselves up to have a fade pattern, we can set ourselves up to have a fade shot scientifically, we can set ourselves up to have a draw, depending on your preference, but you'll always find occasionally you will cross what I call the target line. The target line would be a point we determine as an area where we want the ball to finish. And I get a lot of my players, and this is a game for you to go and play the game on the practice area or on the golf course called no cross. So if we choose our go zone as a left-hand side of the fairway, I would then get the player to try and hit a fade shot and never cross that target line. And what we do is we set up in a way to scientifically hit a ball to make that happen more easily. Now there is still the human error part. So if we misstrike the shot or we have the club face come back to the ball too open or too closed, the ball will go not where we want it to. In terms of trying to hit it in the go zone left, obviously if the face comes back closed, that will be a fairly positive thing, albeit the result won't be what we require. But we will in that case take the right hand side of the course out of play. Obviously if the strike varies, we won't be able to control the ball flight and it might go right or left. So let's talk about the science of hitting the one-way miss, if it's possible, which I'm saying there is not. And then we'll talk about the games you can practice to try and encourage this to get closer to this. So if I was going to fade the ball, what I would try and do is pick a target. So if I have my line I'd want the ball not to cross, I'd pick a target left of that line and I'd aim everything square at that target as I would do for a normal straight golf shot. Square stroke parallel, if you like. Feet and body would be parallel, club face would be pointing square. So I'm going to aim now to the left of my target. I am then going to open the club face about 1 or 2 degrees only, right? Which creates a non-square impact from my swing path, assuming I have a neutral path or an inter-square to in path. That then will make the ball start right in my aiming line and make the ball curve past the position where the face is pointing. Because the club face is 75% more powerful than the path with an iron, 85% with a wood, and we'd find it about 90% with a putter. So this will make the ball cross that position the face is pointed at and finish right in where the club face is aimed. But bear in mind that club face is aimed quite a long way left to that crossing point I want. So the ball should finish in that window left. Again, assuming we've read the wind right, we've struck it correctly and so on. Let's just try that. So I aim everything down the left-hand side. I'm going to open the club face 1 degree, retake my grip so it's in a neutral position relevant to my body, and then I'm going to do my normal, natural golf swing. Whatever that might be. And that ball there started left and just faded a touch, but didn't get anywhere near crossing my target line. So it'd be in my safe zone down the left-hand side. And I would have taken the right side out of course for that particular shot. The consistency of being able to do that every time, I said to you, is nigh on impossible. But we can certainly strive to do it more often, which is the point of this video. So the point of this video really is simple. One, understanding how we should play the shots scientifically, rather than cutting across the ball, holding it off, manipulating the club face, and getting inconsistent results, and also reducing the power that we produce on the ball, because the power will change. If we play it with this kind of more scientific way where we're trying to hit it with the same path as we would do for a normal shot for ourselves, and the club face to be fractionally open or fractionally closed depending on which way we're moving the ball, we will have less change in distance. And I've tested that out with various of my players on Trackman and it's proven to be about the same. I think Danny Willett, he works on a 5-yard increased distance with a draw and a 5-yard decreased distance on a fade when he plays it. Again, I'm not sure of his methodology of playing it, but that's what he does with regard to his numbers. But in terms of my players trying to do this, this is how I want them to play golf. Now, as I said, we have to then commit and execute the shot as we would do any normal shot to try and ensure we give it the best possible chance of doing this. And the last thing I'll say really on this subject is is how do we know this is better for us or worse for us? I want you to experiment. Go out and play 9 holes. One ball shot shaping it, doing what we've said, trying to take one side of the course out of play, the other ball playing normal. Then do your stats, your dispersion from the hole, and your score. Which one wins? And the one that wins is the method I would encourage you to do based on the evidence of it doing. And try it 2 or 3 times before you make that decision. In terms of the practice ground, I'd have a line, the target line, and I'd have a go zone left, and I'd give yourself a point scoring system. So if you hit it in the go zone and say you would be on the green, give yourself 5 points. If you miss it safe side left, 0 points. If you miss it right and cross the target, -5 points. And practice that game and do it with the draw and the fade and see which shot's more successful, because that might become more of your go-to shot. See which way fits with your brain better for a comfort point of view. And also try and keep an eye on how committed you are to doing it. Because if you're over the shot and you're distracted, or you're thinking, I don't like this feels wrong, then that's going to be a commitment issue rather than a technical issue. So it'll help practice your focus and intention too. And focus and intention are clearly majorly important on the golf course. So there's no such thing as a one-way miss, but we can endeavour to create more consistently hitting the ball in the side of the course we want via correct ways of shot shaping and practicing the right way to encourage the ball flight. Have a go with this at your course, post your results down below, let's hear how you get on. If you've enjoyed the video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, got regular content coming every week, and thanks for watching.